Just answering questions with waptek. One person says, can I have your email address for XYZ? I don't give it out. Second, I want to do a podcast with you. I've had 3 people ask to do podcasts with me. One of them really suspicious, Mike in the Night. And I'd love to do podcasts with people. The trouble with this, of course, is that, except for now that NSERV's computer runs much better, I feel like an idiot not understanding that I should have given him this advice. But anyway, I don't do podcasts or video setups with people because about half the time in the past, they would tell me, okay, it's real simple, just do this. And I use a computer that's deliberately dumbed down. The operating system is Windows 7. I've ripped out 90% of the operating system, and I use browsers that are supposed to compensate for that. And that's a rickety ship to fall off of. But I do appreciate the offer. I will consider this later. Right now, I have other things I want to do, mostly a nap right now. Next. Someone posted, I've been keeping a list of those people that have been accused of being bridge guy in the Delphi murders. And the accusers, in brackets, were known. Salem witch trials, the accused. A sheriff, a sergeant, a doctor, a pastor. 2 people who in the area are related to each other. Some other person, a judge. Let's see, father and son, some YouTubers, and some YouTubers are the ones doing this mostly, not all of them. And there's 30 people listed and or pairs of people. And I'm not sure I want to let the list be visible. I guess I will because it's just an open secret, and I can't be flagged for it, I don't think. Although YouTube once flagged me for making a playlist, and it was my liked playlist. You know, shit I liked got me flagged. Seriously, YouTube, do you understand why? Anyway, let's go on. Why so dark? If you're not aware of it, this makes me feel happy. No, this makes it to where you can't see what's behind me. It's a distraction in a video. Number 1. Number 2, I'm too lazy to put up a background. I mean, I'm being honest. Next. It started off being a necessity, mostly so that I couldn't have any people in the background, so I couldn't get flagged for having faces in the background, which is something YouTube flagged for at one time. And also because I would do it outside to get away from music sources, because I usually stayed at coffee shops during the day when I do all this. Point of fact, I was homeless at the time. Currently I'm staying at a relative's place. And honestly, when I watch a video and a person's talking, this is how I prefer to see the video. White blank backgrounds always bothered me. That and the fact, if you're not aware of it, if you look at the icon, YouTube by default blacks out the range of the image. If you're looking at this video, let me see if I can get my jazz hands positioned right. You'll notice, like I'm noticing right now, right there, there's a little bit of the video that's cut off and it's matte black. That's part of the video I'm making. And when I do icons, it's the same thing. And the only neutral color for a video, to get it to where it looks like you meant to have it, whatever resolution it does and whatever ratio, is a black background. And a bunch of little things like that, and it just kind of got to be a habit. That and the fact that I'm almost militantly interested in annoying my computer when it tries to fix this. I hate automatic compensation by a computer routine. Anything automatic can fail automatically or do something bad. But anyway, next one. Just watch the Mike Pillow Lindell documentary, then being manipulated with waptek, this guy, and the person also says that is that really your name? You're named after a chocolate? Anyway, and then the person says I'm evil. Now let me explain this to you. Mike Lindell of the My Pillow company, by definition at that point, you have to understand where is he getting his information from and why is this stuff coming up. And there's a 1 or 2 or 3 hour documentary, people keep giving different numbers, but it's apparently 2 hours, of him going on and on, or having a presentation he is responsible for, where he talks during it too, where he repeats things that I have personally double checked and debunked. That doesn't make me evil, it just means that I don't believe him, number 1. Number 2, I don't believe each individual that came up with these bullshit stories. Next, and final layer, I don't care if you think bad things about me. It's not relevant. It doesn't affect anything in the world. I've heard of people calling themselves Christians and patriots and blah, 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 who claim that, you know, they'll pray for me to be hung by the neck until dead because I said that my vote and everybody else's should count, and you shouldn't find a reason to exclude votes just because you don't like the damned outcome. If you don't like losing, stop playing the game. And I mean that in a really good way. If you do not like living in this country, with it being run by majority rule when it comes to the president or every other position, even if you rig the damn election hardcore like people try to on both sides, if you don't like that, I'm sorry. This is a much better system than the military junta down south where I am right now that went ahead and decided that they were just going to invalidate the vote. This is a better country than some other places. And honestly, if I could go someplace and live and have some semblance of a life, I would probably think about it. But every time I think of a place and then I look it up, I find out that there's enough negatives I don't want to do it. In the United States, without having to cross a border, any real one anyway, I can try to find a better place to live if I have to. And I haven't thought about it until COVID-19 hit. Now I'm stuck in a different part of Oregon. Now that's not a big jump. But the more and more I learn about other countries, the more I don't like that they restrict me or encumber me or threaten me if I live there. There's very few places on earth that are perfect. And they're obviously going to be overrun with people who exclude others. The United States is filled with open areas that I can get away with living in, but I can't do that because I need to have access to basic, civilization and resources and infrastructure. For me, that just doesn't mean much more than a place to live somehow, even if it's just a hunk of dirt and I can put a shed on it. And access to a sewer system that makes sure that I don't die from something unnecessarily. And a water system that does the same thing. And an electrical system so I can heat my room at night and make it really tiny. I can make a building that's so tiny that it makes your garage look impressive. And that will stay warm. Or I can just dig underground and start tunneling. Thought of that a couple of times. I grew up in the desert, so that's not a funny joke. That's actually something I've done several times. And very, very much important. You deciding you don't like me existing when I can right-click and open up your channel in the background and see if maybe, just maybe, you're a channel that was just recently created. And you could be from China. You could be from India. You could be from Louisiana. And it wouldn't make a difference. You could be an extra neighbor. It still doesn't make a difference. You deciding that I'm wrong because you don't like the outcome of an election which this person's posting. They don't like that Donald Trump lost a fucking election. Hillary supporters didn't like her losing. Literally shaking. People were freaking out because they were just so sure that they'd win. And did they learn anything? No. Right now, the Democrats are tearing each other apart. Instead of learning a fucking lesson, the complaint I have about every goddamn Democratic politician, stop being politicians. If you're going to be Democrats, be Democrats. Everybody needs to adopt the same rules that Ronald Reagan, Donald Reagan, God, I don't know. Ronald Reagan proposed. If you're part of a party, don't kill of each other. Just don't do that. Tearing each other apart doesn't work. Be unified. Find out what you all agree on. Do that. And the thing is, if we all did that as a country, we wouldn't have any of these conflicts. We would just decide, okay, for the first month or first year of a 4-year term, we'll just only do the things we agree on. Then we'll hammer out the stuff we can't agree on, because that way we get everything done as fast as possible. Everything easy, do it first. Let's have a honeymoon for a while. But oh no, the Democrats have to scream at each other. The Republicans, even though I don't like Trump, and even though they didn't like him, they got behind him because they didn't really have a choice. And then they let it turn into this mess. The only time you don't get behind your political leader in your organization, the default leader of your political crew, is if they're fucking screwing up badly. But they were stuck with them, so they did what they had to do. But after a while, it's gotten to the point that it just kind of boiled them like a frog, slowly. And they're stuck with the legacy of this mess. And the Republican Party has a couple of choices. One of them is to utterly reject Trump and tell the Trump supporters, please don't vote for us. Make another party, go away. Actually, nut up or shut up. But they're a bunch of cowards. And so are the Republicans in homes. All of you. And so are the Democrats. Because we have to put up with our party being torn apart at the seams from birth. There are people now trying really hard to fuck over every single Democrat. And they're listening to anything they can find because, well, the honeymoon's over, we have to attack each other, right? We all need to learn to, follow Reagan's rule, only decide that we're all part of the same party. America party. America party. I think that'd be great. So I'm going to right-click this person who called me evil and that sort of thing. But yeah, why so dark, I've explained, and God almighty, yeah, there's a whole bunch of people who are supposed to be one person, so that's usually an indication you shouldn't trust what they have to say. And I'm waiting for the computer to stop trying desperately to crash, because it is trying to. So the person who posted under my channel calling me evil and saying I'd rather listen to the person I debunk than me because I'm evil. Channel has no videos, no playlists, no channels featured, no discussion, blank channel. And the About page says 2015. That's amazing. A 2015 blank troll channel, and the icon is from someone's passport or ID. Now, of course, I can just view the image and copy image location and see if this has been used repeatedly. Now, why am I doing this? I'm actually curious because about half the time they're stealing someone else's identification or whatever, and this is their way of messing with them. They'll use the ID card they saw they had. Maybe she took a picture of the person some other time. Adult Thailand. Okay. So Google has diagnosed the image as being from Thailand and being a passport photo, but it looks more like a state-issued ID for some municipality. But it didn't identify the person, so that means this icon has been used on a very few number of channels or Facebook pages or whatever. Yes, I do that from time to time, just in case somebody's being impersonated. That happened to me a couple of times. So I do thank everybody for the commentary, even if you don't like my answers. And, well, hope that this video meets you in good spirits and happiness. But no, I'm not going to worry about someone critiquing me by saying you're evil and I don't like you because you debunked my favorite person. And I'm pretty sure this is a troll working for somebody, but it could be anybody. And that last part's pretty sad. I can't tell the difference between some troll from some other country trying to screw up the United States I can't tell the difference between them and an American doing the same thing because they don't know any better. Again, we need to get what we need done first that we can all agree on, even if it's only a few things, and get them out of the way. Not use them as something to hold back as some sort of carrot and stick thing and solve our problems. And we all need to get along with each other within our own, I would think, within our own political groupings, or at least in our projects, instead of finding every opportunity to tear each other apart. And I'm trying to make sure that happens for everybody. And somebody doesn't like it. Screw them. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.